Hey, my name is Justin Case, and I want to talk to you about investing in land. Now, I don't often talk about this stuff, but it is things I have done in the past, and I have done very recently. And this happens to be one of the pieces of land I have purchased. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you're interested in purchasing land, you should definitely do your due diligence. I will tell you that I did not do my due diligence as well as I should have. But I will back up first. I found this property on Zillow, and it is located, this beautiful little almost acre of redwood forest is located in Scotts Valley, California, which is about 15 minutes from the boardwalk in Santa Cruz. And that was one of my interests in it because it is close by to some very fun places to go and spend time in. But it's a little ways up, and it's in, well, a redwood forest. And I liked all of those things. But there are considerations when you're buying any property. First of all, like I said, this was an acre or almost an acre of land. What are the other acres of land going for? Well, this one was being sold for about $20,000. Other properties around here for about an acre of land are sold at around $500,000. Now, certainly there's red light reasons why it is at the price it is, but when you're buying something in speculation and figure you're going to flip it later or something else, then why worry about those? One of the first things I like to know is whether I can get water and electric hookups to the property. Now, gas is not really an issue because, quite frankly, this is California, and in California, new regulations say that new housing cannot have gas connections. Everything has to be electric. So, technically, yes, gas is available here, but I only needed to be concerned about electric and water, and there is. The second question then you also have to ask yourself is, how can you get into the property? Now, unfortunately for me, it was an easement. So if this easement is required, do you have an easement approval as part of purchasing the property? I do. I have an easement through my neighbor's driveway. Actually, according to the specific easement documentation, I have an easement throughout their whole property for the most part. But I mean, we're neighbors, I would not want to go anywhere beyond their driveway. So their driveway, it's raining, by the way, their driveway was really the main source. Now, unfortunately, I did not do a lot of further due diligence. I knew that this was on a hill, but I understood the top to have some sort of flat area. I went online and looked on Google, and when you look on like Google Maps from the sky, you can not see anything because we have giant redwood trees here that cover the sky. So very, very hard to look on a map and position this particular piece of land. I live in Denver, so I just didn't feel like I could come out here and look at it. I should have maybe taken a weekend to just try, but at the time I figured at the price it was going for, why not just go for it? I did look at other Google Maps that drove me to the end of the street where I could see the neighbor and I could see my neighbor's driveway, and I could see down the driveway, but I didn't know what to see on the other side. I didn't know what it looked like on the other side of the driveway. So I have now that I'm here, and this is the first time I've come here and looked at it, and unfortunately it's a drop. It's a drop through a little garden, about a 10-foot drop. It's possible that if I worked with my neighbor, I might be able to flatten that out and continue the driveway down to here. But then if this here is kind of like the walkway, yes, with all the pieces of wood cut up on it. This is basically the flat area here, and then everything is a giant drop. And that giant drop leads all the way down the bottom to then a steep 20-foot drop, and then there is the road at the bottom. So the only real solution to build anything would be would be on this road and extend out their driveway at least a little bit. Now, other things I did not know in doing my due diligence is that because of all of the fires that have occurred in California, especially in Santa Cruz County, the probability of them letting me build anything out here is all based off of whether the fire department could get to the property. In which case, based off of looking around here, the answer is no. No, there is no way the fire department can get to this property. The driveway of my neighbor's house is too narrow, and even if that wasn't an issue, there's no way this path unfortunately leads to nothing. So it's a dead end. So there's no way a fire truck could turn around. So that kind of ended, unfortunately, after I bought this property, my dreams of building on it. That doesn't mean that somebody else couldn't find a solution, and someone with more money, which is why, of course, this could be considered not something that I could develop and sell, but more of just flipping some land. Some negatives to that, I bought this land, and it turned out to be from somebody who had it for just a year, and they had bought it at a tax auction. And as tax auctions go, it's impossible to get a title insurance for a tax auction piece of land for probably the first 5 years. I was able to get a sort of a certificate that I'm not going to say bypassed it, but is similar for it to get some sort of title insurance on it, which does cost a little bit, but it costs a lot less than what lawyers would cost in order to do something a little more drastic. So I paid a couple grand for that. But in 5 years, well, now it's been about 2 years. So in about 3 years, that won't matter anymore. And I could probably sell this land, I personally think, for maybe 40, 50 grand. So double my money. That's not the worst thing in the world. The other idea I had, as I was talking about that driveway, is because of the whole fire issue in Santa Cruz County, a couple of the new regulations that they have is, one, they used to not allow anything to be built on, well, a slope like this. Now they're saying it is possible. I mean, they're willing to work with somebody to determine whether there is a real possibility of building on a slope, because they realize there's just not enough places for people to live in Santa Cruz. So sloped land is a possibility. And I'm not saying it is right here. I'm not sure. But that brings me then to the second thing that they changed, which is they allow you to have AUDs. That was one idea. Of course, an AUD I may be pronouncing it wrong, but, like a little cottage in the back of your house. But of course, that assumes you could have a house, which, as I just pointed out, I can't have both. But they also allow tiny houses on wheels. So tiny houses on wheels are totally regulated, first of all, as long as they're within the proper regulations, regulated by the DMV. So the Department of Motor Vehicles regulates them in California, and they say if you have it, as long as you have a pad to put it on with all of the hookup connections, they will allow you to leave it on your land permanently. So that brings up the whole idea of extending out the road just maybe 15, 20 feet past the property line, building a landing pad, possibly something that uses a retaining wall or on stilts with pylons or something else down there to just raise it up to the road line, and then maybe asphalt the road and call it a day. So that's kind of one of my dreams, what I'm dreaming about right now. There are some interesting opportunities out there. There is this new extendable tiny home on wheels that is like a 20-foot by 8-foot little hitch that you can put on the back of a car, and then once you get it to a location, you can extend it out. And this was made in like Ontario, California, down in LA. I really want to check it out, see if it's viable, but first I think I need to look more to see if it's even viable to build what I'm talking about here. So, you know, a lot of research is involved if you actually do want to build. If you want to flip, that's easy enough. Just wait a couple years, pay the taxes during that time, and then, you know, put the land up for sale. So these are just some thoughts that I'm having right now. Wanted to let you guys know about them. If you're interested in hearing more about this kind of topic beyond the standard topics I talk about, passive income and cryptocurrency investments in token incentivized depend projects, please do, like I said, like and subscribe. All right, thank you for watching, and you all have a great day.